This next portion, we're going to have audience participation, believe it or not. So I would like a volunteer to come forward and assist me. Richie? Now, come on, you're close. All right. What we would like to do, Richie is very knowledgeable, as you all know, in Cambridge glass, and I would assume that this is 1920, and this is 1930, and we'd like to have you put those in the correct order of introduction. Now, I will tell you, not to confuse you, but there are at least two that are already in the correct order. And you can see, audience, how many do we have total? 8. There were 8 opaques introduced during the 1920s. Feel free to start. Yeah. And we all say that 1920 was what? The decade of opaques, right? How many transparent colors were introduced in that same period?
Glow light.
Oh. You're doing fine. Anyone know? 13. And if you include things that went by another name like rose de berry, jade, cinnamon, crystal, now that number comes up to 18. So again, sometimes we assume some things. What are you doing? No, you're doing a wonderful job. So is this your best guess? Okay, here we go, 1920. Looks like we have ebony first, then azurite, Carrara, jade. No, is this jade? No. This is jade right here. So you're saying Pomona? Okay. You did wonderful, thank you. Excellent. You can have a seat. Yes, there'll be money later. Yeah. All right. From our wonderful astute audience, how many of you, by a show of applause, think that Mr. Bennett is absolutely correct? Well, I will give Rich credit for coming out because probably not many other people would. So right away, if we start actually at 1920, which was the year for women, because that's when women acquired the right to vote. And it's been wonderful ever since. To just put this in historical perspective, all of these were introduced before the first talkie motion picture. Anyone know what that was? The Jazz Singer. Thank you. It was before Charles Lindbergh flew across the ocean. So, 90 years ago. First, azurite, 1922, spring. We're going to have some controversy on this next one, but since I have the microphone, I'm right. Carrara, mid-1922. Then, what? Ebony, late 1922. Now you're all going to say yes, but ebony was introduced in 1916, and it was. So what we don't know was ebony stopped and then restarted. Literature tends to say that it was, but as you know, sometimes when we ask questions, we end up with more questions. Next, we'll move into 1923, and those two colors that were introduced are primrose and helio. Same time, first of the year. So 3 and 22, 2 and 23. Next, January 1924, jade and ivory. And that leaves Pomona, which was mid-26-ish. So that gives you an idea of how the colors came about. Questions? I'm going to turn it over to Lynn, and we'll start talking about the glass.
Here is the original picture of the Cambridge glass plant. of the Chicago showroom around 1922, showing azurite and ebony, and they are so tagged in. This was in the Chicago Merchandise Mart. Azurite, obviously, you can tell, was probably the biggest seller of any of the colors. A lot of people think it's the prettiest color. We're not going to pick every piece up tonight and talk about every piece. What we're going to try to talk about are shapes and decorations and patterns. As you see in the opaques, there are not very many pressed patterns. Azurite seems to be the one that has more than any other the community pattern, which is a series of panels. And we have this and a wonderful tumble up. And this is the hard part. And the bowl and pitcher set, and the candlesticks, a humidor. This is a matchbook holder in community. And we have the dresser set with the pin tray, 2 pomade boxes, a powder jar, and the dresser tray. And I always kind of like to include the doorknobs because they have panels on them. It's a beautiful set of azurite doorknobs. The other major pattern that came in opaques was Chelsea, which is a series of punnies with the lines coming down from them. It was made primarily in azurite. We've got great pieces. There's a lady's spittoon. We have the hotel sugar and the berry sugar in a blown vase and a soda tumbler and a pickle dish. It's a great, great, great pattern. One of my favorites. There are a few other press patterns, but none of them seem to be lines like Community and Chelsea. Other unusual shapes to talk about. This is a molded pattern, and we do not know what this pattern is. It has just a series of pillars on it. It looks sort of like a powder jar that they've crimped the top on it. We still don't know what the name of the pattern is. And this bowl, which I call lattice edge, just for lack of knowing, is patterned also. Quite rare. And then, of course, these are these a part of a line, Frank? You know, they just carry a near cut type number, sugar and creamer, very unusual. And you'll recognize the little individual sugar and creamer later became a part of the pristine line, but they actually were part of the round line to begin with early on. Oh, we also have, here's the comb and brush tray in Community. Azurite was primarily a decorative line. It was bowls, candlesticks, compotes, and vases. The tableware things like sugars and creamers and sherbets you do not see nearly as often. We don't know why they didn't do more what I call useful tableware. Here is a marmalade, which is quite rare in it. It tends to be the decorative things, bowls, candlesticks, compotes. I don't know how many. I tried to count how many candlesticks come in azurite, and I think I came up with 28 different ones. This is what we call the ball stem coaster. There are a few of these very rare azurite tumblers known, and they sure fit good in this. I'm not sure they're original to each other, but they sure look great. What these were meant to do was you had your regular crystal tumbler, and you took it to the bedside, and you put your clear tumbler on this coaster and the sanitary lid on the top next to the bed. There are lots and lots and lots of interesting etchings and decorations. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but here's the rose decoration in black enamel. Here is the dancing lady in Nanking green enamel, which is a very odd combination, and it has the Betty etching around the top. Here is the peacock etched vase in Nanking green enamel also. Sort of an odd combination, blue and green. This is a very, very rare bowl with the Bacchus etching done in yellow gold. Here is the peacock etching done in gold. Beautiful. Let's see. These are something you seldom ever see in the opaques are the matching colored stands. They're usually ebony. This one has a factory hole for a lamp. Would have had a paste mold vase on top of it, like something like this, made into a lamp. It's a very, very unusual basket. This is not the standard shaped basket. This has optics in it. Beautiful console set with the cattail decoration on it. It's mother of pearl finished and then gold cattails over top. They did make the cat and the dog bottles in the large size in azurite. I haven't seen them in any other opaque colors. There's more things in azurite than anything else. This is a really popular thing that people collect. This is a stick vase. And here's the 12-inch one that they've crimped. Quite unusual. There's another paste mold vase. This has the purple luster on it. They seem to do a good little bit of black and purple luster on azurite. These pieces generally, if it's not worn off, have a C in the triangle and made in USA and purple luster on the bottom. This is the fern dish. The fern dish comes in 3 different shapes. It was to plant a fern in. This one has the gold rose etching on it. There are several sizes of baskets. This is a standard size. This is made out of the sweet pea vase. This piece has a beautiful pearly finish to it, real satiny. Real unusual decoration on this azurite guy. And we have a baked apple dish from the museum that has original tag, says azurite number 41, 6.5-inch nappy. And it also has instructions from the chemist on the formula for azurite. A blue carbonate of copper in azure blue mineral, it says on the bottom. A lot of people collect these blown paste mold pansy vases. They come with a plain top or a crimped top. And is there something I missed here we ought to be talking about? This has an incredible gold decoration. It's beautiful. It's all been enameled and then the enamel's been covered with gold. It's all built up. Beautiful. May or may not be a Cambridge decoration. Who cares? Beautiful. This is a very, very rare basket made out of the largest sweet pea vase, and they folded it. It's a radically different shape from the normal basket. This is the one of 3 different shapes of spittoons or cuspidors shown in the catalog. These come in azurite and ebony and primrose. This is an interesting community vase. Has the original Cambridge art glass label on it. It's called the tripod vase. This is the matchbook ashtray. Has a nice silver overlay decoration on it. This is a Doric plate. These come in 3 sizes. You seldom ever see anything but the 8-inch ones in opaques. This was made to match the ram's head bowl and candlesticks. Got a nice group of paste mold vases, one with the cattails and one with classic. And then we have this series of vases with the Cambridge roses on. Beautiful. Oh, these are really hard to find. There's the small size cylinder. And you want to hold the trophy vase up? All right. I'll hold the trophy vase up. That's the trophy vase in community with that decoration on. And we also have some sort of a little vase jar of some kind with the roses. We're not sure what it is. It's not in the catalog. It looks like it's been made out of the bottom of a jar. And here is the 3-footed covered powder box. This is quite rare. It's all been polished cut with the roses on it. And there's the big flower block with the roses. These are the square vase. It also doubles as a cocktail shaker. And the way to tell the difference in these is the cocktail shaker's ground on the inside, and the vases are not. This has the dancing ladies, and this has a numbered etching that I cannot tell you what it is. Here's an ebony 274 bud vase. This has the etching I call Stream of Hearts. It's got a stream of hearts going down each side of it. You see this a lot in Crown Tuscan. Here's the refectory, or some people call it the bathtub bowl. Looks like an old cast iron bathtub. This has the same etch on it as the square vase does. It's unusual in black. You usually see it in Pomona green. There's an unusual early cigarette box with the Wedgwood etching on it. Then we have some community pieces, a brush vase. This is not a tumbler. This is for toothbrushes. And the tray and the pomade box. There's a very rare ebony community lavender jar. You put ground up lavender in these, and you took the lid off, and it made your bedroom smell good. It's unusual in ebony. And equally rare ebony community salt and pepper. And the ebony ink bottle. And we have an ebony humidor with the red dragon on it. This is an ebony toilet bottle. This is mouthwash. Unusual to see these in ebony. They're usually in peach blow or light emerald. Beautiful ebony 3077 footed tumbler, gold Huntsine. There's an unusual ebony roundware creamer, and it has glue. It's called glue chip. And they actually put glue all over this and chipped it away, and it left this snowflakey-like appearance on it. This is out of the wrong time frame, but it is ebony. This is out of the 40s, and this has Charlatan decoration on it. A real unusual ebon satin ram's head bowl. This belonged to a worker, and he had it. He took it down there and had it ebonized. It's quite rare. And we've got one of the black vases. These come in about 7 sizes. This is a number 3, and 3 does not mean 3 inches. We're not sure that it had anything to do with size. This one has a very rare Cambridge glass label on it that says ebony number 3 base, Cambridge, Ohio on it. It belongs to the museum. Questions on ebony? Something I missed, several things. This beautiful vase has a big fat C in the triangle on the bottom of it. The rings vase, it comes in 3 sizes in ebony. The shaving mug, yeah. Shaving mug is the first one I've ever seen. And the bitters bottle or blown paste mold vase in ebony. That's unusual in ebony. Different. Carrera. This rolling pin was made by Cambridge in a mold for the Imperial Manufacturing Company, which has nothing to do with Imperial from Bel Air. The Imperial Manufacturing Company made wooden kitchen potato mashers and bread bowls and butter paddles, and this company was owned by Judy Bennett's parents, the Imperial Manufacturing. Incredible Carrera bowl with the gold peacocks on it. And covered candy with the gold rose decoration. Sometimes these are signed. I guess this one's not. Unusual. And this is a mayonnaise compote with gold Egypt pattern on it. And a very, very rare compote that came out of Worker's Home years ago with incredible enamel decoration. It's so this one, it happens to be so opaque compared to the normal Carrera. And somebody asked me once about these mayonnaise compotes that other companies made them. Yeah, the Cambridge one always has a little round bump in the bottom of it for some reason or other. And we have quite a few Carrera community pieces here. Pomade boxes, a comb and brush tray, pin tray. This has a real unusual enamel polka dot forget-me-not decoration on the lid. Ivory Doric column candlestick in Carrera. They did not make the ram's head bowl in ivory. There are in Carrera. There's two styles of the Doric candlesticks. The early ones have this circle and lines on it. The later ones have a laurel wreath pattern on them, like the ram's head. Very unusual Carrera bowl with the deco, mother of pearl and gold on it. That's the first piece I've seen like that. We've got some original catalog pages up here you can look at with opaques. These are the perfumes. And this is the lamp. They're called lamp vases. And sometimes they were drilled and sometimes they were not. We have several of them up here tonight to look at. And then this is a little paste mold, miniature paste mold vases and pansy vases page. Primrose. Mustard yellow color. You either love it or hate it. One or the other. I like it. This is the larger of the baskets in the standard style. Here's the regular size. These are made out of sweet pea vases. Here's an azurite stick vase and an azurite ruffled vase, or azurite, good heavens, Lynn. Primrose. Primrose ruffled vase. This has Nanking green enamel trim on it, which is unusual on Primrose. There's one of the miniature vases. All these miniature vases, if you look at them, they may remind you of something. These are the same molds that they used to make the Caprice vases with. They just put the Caprice optic in them. Here's a pretty compote with a gold daisy decoration. Here's the standard miniature basket with the rope handle. These come with or without the rope handle. Here is the coaster in Primrose. Very unusual color Primrose set, almost leaning to avocado. This has the sterling cameo decoration on. The sterling cameo decoration comes on all the colors. Twist candlestick in Primrose. They're rather common in jade, but you hardly ever see them in another color. This is an unusual colonial sherbet in Primrose. And this is some sort of a little plainware puff box in Primrose. And we have a whole series of community things in Primrose, including the extremely rare sponge dish. This is the drainer. Very, 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 very rare. And an equally rare mustard with an ebony community lid. Cool piece. Here is one of the what they called lamp vases. This one was never drilled with the dragon pattern on it. And another pansy vase. These are fun to collect because you can get them in all the colors, except for Carrera. Ring tree. Oh, I forgot the most important piece. These are really rare. Primrose ring tree. Some of them still have a knockoff bead on the top. That knockoff bead was supposed to be knocked off and ground onto a point, like this one is. Helio. We kind of crowded the Helio tonight. But as you can see, Helio was primarily bowls, candlesticks, compotes, and vases. Helio was a big color for vases, and we got some fabulous vases tonight. This was a sample that belonged to Mary Martha or your aunt? Aunt Jenny. Was she the one that died in the cloakroom? Yeah, at the plant. She was a secretary, right? Yeah. Secretary of the Treasurer. This is satin finished, and it's just like silk. And it has a sample hand done gold and black enamel decoration. Probably they were trying something. These cylinder vases have Rockwell, beautiful Rockwell sterling on them. Gorgeous. This one's wonderful decoration. Here's another one. I don't know why Rockwell didn't work on more of the opaque colors, but they tended towards Helio. Here's the standard basket again in Helio. Standard doesn't mean easy, it's just the regular shape. This is a super rare lamp vase with a gold etched decoration that I think is Payton City decoration on this vase, which is unexplainable. Here's the silver cameo decoration, again on a rather unusual sized paste mold vase. Usually this vase is smaller. This is the blown compote. There's no pressing on this thing. This is all blown. It's made in 2 parts. And Larry's going to hold up a really neat lamp made out of a 1-pound candy jar in helio with a gold laurel decoration. It's extremely well done. I'm sure it's original. It isn't something somebody just made up. And we have the beautiful Helio Community wash bowl and pitcher set. There are 2 styles of pitchers. We showed you the straight azurite. This is the blown azurite with an applied handle. And we have the matching dresser set in the brush vase. Larry's got the gold cattail or seaweed. I call this seaweed. The candlesticks seem to be cattails, and the bowls seem to be like a seaweed decoration. Here is the candlestick, and it has the cattails on it. There's a mother of pearl finish under that, and we also have a covered candy box. Has a mother of pearl all over the base, and then the gold decoration on the top. It's pretty stuff. Lots of different candlesticks. Great pair of gold hand-decorated candlesticks. Here is the, I call it the candlestick vase because it's hollow. You could use it for either one. This is blown. There are 3 different shapes of these. We only have, let's see, here's the jade one. Here is one of the other blown hollow candlestick vase shapes. Those are pictured in the new catalog the museum put out. Here's the Bitters bottle or paste mold vase with a gold and enamel etched rooster on it. Wonderful little mini vase with hammered Rockwell sterling on it. It's all been hammered. It's beautiful. And the cylinder vase. And the ball vase. I think these would be fun to collect, these in all the colors. They're fun. And again, the pansy vases, of course. Plain top. And the ruffled top. And we've got a helio doorknob out here. And another Doric plate in helio. These were copied off of a Wedgwood Doric pattern, as was the ram's head bowl. And there's an unusual little helio ashtray here, and it's rather undercolored. This has a match striker in the middle, and it has cigarette snuffers on the ends. What'd I miss, Larry? Blown compote. I did blown compote. Oh, you were holding that other guy up. And a few other really great helio vases done in gold. Ruffled bud vase and the cylinder. Did I miss anybody in helio? Strange thing, jade and ivory came out, and there is no community. Larry and I kind of think maybe community stopped at that point when these colors were introduced. There's no other explanation why there isn't a piece. So you guys keep your eyes out there and find a piece of community in one of these colors. These are 2 more of the lamp vases. They're hollow and blown in a paste mold. This is another one. This one's quite rare. It's an unusual shape, and this has white gold and yellow gold sponged acid all over it. And again, this is the more unusual of the hollow candlestick. This has white gold sponged all over it. This is the tall compote, and this one is probably the one that followed this one. This is the pressed one, and this is the blown one. This has the silver cameo on it. Another Doric plate, or not a Doric plate, a plate. These belong to A.J. Bennett. These plates. They were in his dining room with the hanging urn. The urn is kind of a cobalt black color, and the flowers are enameled, and then the yellow gold trim. The Bitters bottle or paste mold vase in jade, and little urn vase also. This is kind of interesting. This is a Pousse Cafe or brandy glass in jade. They were special ordered. They were made out of the atomizer mold. Really neat. This is called a 3-footed sweetmeat. Usually you see it in azurite. It's rather rare in jade. And we've got a wonderful jade bird feeder for a bird cage. What a great piece. And the mayonnaise ladle, they made the mayonnaise ladle in all the colors. I didn't realize there was a mayonnaise ladle in Pomona green or avocado, but there is. Richie dug the bowl of one at the plant. This is a super rare jade geisha girl. Vicky calls it soap on a rope. There is a matching Buddha, which we forgot to bring. Rare bowl. Has a large C in the triangle in the bottom. A pattern somewhat reminiscent of Chelsea, but different. And it has a very, very strong Marie on the bottom, like they were going to apply metal to that. These are known in azurite and jade. Twist candlestick, which is probably the most common thing in jade, except this one has fabulous gold Greek key on it. And here's one with sponged yellow gold on it. Beautiful, beautiful atomizer done in jade. And this is DeVilbiss fittings, and this has the original goldstone aventurine finial on the top. Cambridge did not make this part. This was a stone that DeVilbiss bought. Here's a 6-panel candlestick, and the jade is greener. This stick, the jade, is always greener, and I don't know why. It's a slightly different color. Another beautiful jade atomizer. This one has the gold hanging urns and the butterflies on it. I said I wasn't going to talk about everything, but everybody brought this stuff. We got to talk about it. This is a rather common candlestick in colors like peach blow or light amber or amber, and it's usually turned down. This one's been flipped up on the edges. Very unusual in jade. And last but not least, the pansy vase. Oh, I did forget. Yeah, the DeVilbiss perfume lamp. Here it comes in 2 shapes. This is a beauty with a dragon. This dragon's done in white gold. Cool. Oh, and the ram's head bowl, I forgot it. This is wonderful with a silver cameo decoration on it. It's very unusual to see a ram's head decorated. Ivory, again, no community, no Chelsea, was probably the biggest color that Cambridge put decorations on. Very, very popular with decorations. This is the hanging urn in enamel. We also have a center handle tray in hanging urn, and a very rare cake stand in hanging urn, and a candlestick in hanging urn. This is probably very unusual. And then there is an alternate pattern, the basket of flowers. This is a very rare blown compote with a blown lid, made the same as the regular compote. Super rare blown bowl with the enamel basket of flowers. It has a big one on the front and a little one on the back. Looks like a mixing bowl to me. Beautiful ivory classic vase, and has a little bit of blue enamel trim at the top and bottom. Gorgeous atomizer, blue enamel, beautiful. This is Florentine, Cambridge Florentine etching. Another little atomizer, paneled. It's unusual in ivory. It's usually azurite or helio. And the little paste mold vases or a bitters bottle again. This has Florentine on it also. Another Florentine piece. No, this isn't Florent. That's that other one. I don't. It doesn't carry a pattern name. This has blue enamel trim and gold etching on it also. This enameling was done at Cambridge. We call it the iris decoration. This was done by one of our founding members' aunts. Johnny Wolf's aunt painted the iris decoration. This comes in blue. It also comes rarely in purple. And it usually combines green or black enamel trim. This has black enamel on the edges and green enamel on the feet and on the finial. Nice powder and perfume set in ivory, and the tray is very unusual. And they did sell these. They sold sugar and creamers on this tray, and they sold powder sets on the tray. Dresser compact. You want to hold the dresser compact up? I'm kind of short to pick this stuff up. There's the dresser compact for 2 tubes of lipstick, powder, and rouge. Cambridge did some blue willow etching on ivory. This is a very unusual candlestick. And we also have a cup and saucer and a sugar bowl down front. This is my favorite decoration. It doesn't have a name, but it's almost like little yellow daisies. And this is all a cloudy looking brown and green decoration combined with it. And this is the white daisy decoration on black enamel, white gold trim, and mother of pearl finish on the foot and on the stems. Gorgeous set. Ooh. And this is another little paste mold vase with the same decoration as this last console set. Here's a rare piece of blue willow, the flip bowl. This is a very unusual decoration. It's shown up on several vases and also a marmalade. It reminds me of those decals that people put on their kitchen cupboards in the 30s. It's that orangey bluey stuff. And then this has the luster finish underneath it. There's an unusual sugar bowl in plain ware. And here we have the ram's head bowl in the caramelized or mother of pearl finish and a matching dolphin. These were sold together as a console set. There's another unusual, what I call kitchen-y looking decoration on a lamp vase and a stick vase. And another one of those kind of decorations. This has tiny yellow enamel roses and green and white gold trim. This is a super duper rare ivory tankard pitcher. And this belonged to Aunt Mary. Her family. Great, great, rare piece. Don't go looking for that. Ain't gonna happen. This is a roundware ivory divided candy box. This is an unusual one. It has 2 handles. They usually are plain. Ivory center handled Lazy Susan relish set. It's the only one I've ever seen in an opaque color. That was a donation from somebody to the museum. And a beautiful ivory trumpet vase. These come in azurite and ivory with a gold Cambridge etching on it. It's a real unusual ivory basket weave vase. This is the pattern you see usually in Rubina. It's unusual and opaque. 2 more pieces of blue willow, a cup and saucer, and the sugar bowl. This stuff's great. The superb candlestick with the very finest enamel wreaths done on it. It's really incredible. Here's a marmalade like the other console set. White gold, black enamel, and mother of pearl finish. This is an unusual ivory syrup with a matching ivory lid. And if you look at Richie's diggings over there, there's one of these lids that he's dug, little ivory lid. And this is the sanitary syrup in ivory. And a Weatherford bowl in ivory. strangely, these bowls have a scalloped edge on them. And then ivory flower frogs, they made the 13-inch draped lady, the 8.5-inch draped lady, the rose lady, and the 2-kid. And they are hard to find, and they are quite often cracked. This is a really rare Imperial Manufacturing rolling pin in ivory with the original green handles. It has the Imperial manufacturing marks on it. I left out this incredible cheese and crackers set. So beautiful gold Cambridge etching on it. And last but certainly not least, Pomona green, some call avocado, the last of the opaque colors. Very different from the other colors in what they made it in. Some later shapes that you never see in opaques, like the 278 vase with optics in it, which does not occur in the other colors. And just a lot of things that you don't see in any of the other colors. The humidor, which is usually in peach blow. The desk set. This is the bookend. The letter rack. The pen and pencil tray. The pen tip holder and the ink bottle. The ink bottles are rare. And then we have these odd cigarette boxes, which don't occur in any of the other opaque colors. And they have the lid is different. There's a sink that fits over the outside edge of this. Normally these have a Marie that sticks down and goes into the box, but these hang over the outside of the box. And they only seem to occur in avocado, and they're beautiful because they polish cut these on the top and you get down into the slaggy part. Really, really pretty. Here's a cheese and crackers compote and avocado. Avocado was a strange line. It tended to be tableware, much more so than the other opaque colors that were largely decorative. Here is a flat rim soup bowl. There is a whole table service in this pattern. Here's a baked apple dish. We have blown stemware. This one has the gold rose decoration on it. These are out of the 3085 line. That is the foot of juice. This looks to me like a grapefruit dish, but in the book they call it a compote. And they all have the optic in them. Cup and saucer. Sugar. Made the creamer too. It's the only color they made all these great tableware things in. Very rare Martha Washington or Centennial bowl in Pomona green, flip bowl. Pretty patterns underneath. And a console bowl. The easiest thing to find in Pomona green is the bowl. Or a center handle tray. And then the water service. The water pitcher has optics in it, as does the ice tub and the tray. And it's just real interesting. There's no community, but they made lots of tableware in avocado. This is an incredible, it's so opalescent, avocado compote, and it has Rockwell silver over top of Cambridge etching. It's the only one I've seen like it. What did I miss, Larry? What? Anything you want to say? I hogged the whole program. Terrible. Questions about colors or shapes or time frames or anything like that? This is just a gorgeous display. We really thank everybody for bringing it. Everybody made this a nice thing. It really is great. It's probably the prettiest thing we'll ever do, I would say. Really, really great. Questions? Nope. Thank you all very much. Thank you.